Welcome to Spa. I love this track, but oh boy is it one hell of a roller coaster. Introducing Vincent Winter in the yellow bend Porsche directly in front of us. He's going to play a key role in today's video, and so is Robin Collar in the number 69 BMW, starting further in front. Unfortunately, P18 is what we achieved in qualifying, as we had a massive crash at Radion, thus losing the car at the top of the hill, but this is the formation lap. However, we watched Vincent Winter colliding with his fellow Porsche driver. He just went wide in the final corner. We also have to brake, so he went above the speed limit, but we're gonna go green immediately at the Spa-Francorchamps. We get a better reaction than Vincent Winter. He's probably got distracted by his little moment earlier on. We're heading into turn 1. Vincent Winter braver than us, around the outside of a couple cars there. For us, we're up 1 position, and maybe by the time we get to Eau Rouge, we could be up 2 positions, as we have better acceleration than the Ferrari of Chang Wei. Go up Eau Rouge into Radion, and yes, he does, and yes, we do. Luckily, he does lift to let us by, and as we go single file through Radion up the hill and now through the Camel Straight. These guys are 3 wide, the number 69 BMW, number 32 BMW, and the blue Porsche. They're gonna go 3 wide into Lecombe, and unfortunately, the red BMW is gonna get sandwiched by Drew Fusilio and Vladislav Zuberlin. Fusilio in the blue Porsche on the inside, and Zuberlin in the green BMW on the outside. Just an unlucky tangle there for the 3 of them. The action doesn't stop though, as Zalewski runs into the back of Tom Obi in the white BMW there. They're stationary at the middle of the track, so everyone behind has to take avoiding action. Let's look at the previous incident on board with the Porsche of Drew Fusilio. Once again, he's on the inside. The red BMW in the middle just get pinched. It's a very unlucky incident. It's a racing incident on lap 1. 3 wide through there, rarely works. Now on board with Zalewski. Maybe he kind of misses braking point, going into the braking zone, but yeah, there he goes. He spins Tom Obi around. You can hear he actually put on a little bit of throttle, so yeah, I'm not sure about that one, but a lot of cars go by, and we are up to P13, as now we can see our POV of the entire thing. We can already see smoke on the left hand side. That was with the incident with a Porsche. In the middle of the track, we get a huge scare, and luckily there's a little bit of runoff to the side. However, as we rejoin, the Ferrari of Chang Wei ready to pounce and capitalize on this situation. We do make contact, but around the outside, we get to keep our place and not allow the Ferrari to get by. On the same lap, this is still lap 1. We're going into sector 3 through Blanchimont. Barely not flat out for us through there, especially with the dirty air. But into the bus stop chicane, gonna brake very cautiously, but look at behind, the Ferrari of Chang Wei sends it from miles back. But luckily we parked the apex and he can't get through, so once again through the bus stop. However, this is the end of the second lap. Vincent Winter ready to pounce on Vladislav Zuberlin, who had an incident with the Porsche earlier. If you remember, on lap 1, we're a couple tenths back from Winter, but going into turn 1, there are yellow flags, and there are a couple of BMWs on the runoff in the gravel, as we narrowly avoid one of them as they rejoin the circuit. That was a crash avoided by the skin of our teeth there. Now, as we go up Eau Rouge, get a good run, at least better than Vincent Winter. So with the superior acceleration of the Mustang, we could get a run around the outside of Lecombe, as Vincent Winter defends the inside into the braking zone of Lecombe. We're gonna brake late. We get just barely ahead of the apex. However, we wash out wide, and Vincent Winter can reclaim his P9 position as we go off track a little bit there. But fair play to Vincent Winter on that defense. Now into Brussels. Maybe you can get a second sniff. We fake it down the inside, try and force a mistake from Vincent Winter. He goes a little bit wide, but it's not enough for us to slip through. This is a replay of the incident into turn 1. We're on board with the BMW of Dave Alms, probably missing his braking point and spinning around his fellow number 32 BMW driver. As on the left hand side, there's a number 69 BMW who also got caught in that as well. Let's see what happened to him. We're on board with Robin Collar, one of the important figures in our race today, braking for turn 1 just like everybody else, but seeing the incident, he picks the left side, and unfortunately that is the wrong side as he makes contact with the BMW and for good measure runs deep into the gravel. Luckily, he finds an escape road on the side of the track. Now I do really want to quickly show you the move that this Porsche did going into turn 1. Look at the oversteer, look at the controlled oversteer he pulled off as he avoids the red BMW coming back onto the track and rejoining. I don't know, I just thought I wanted to show you that because when I first saw in the replay, that looked really cool. Back to our POV through Puon. Unfortunately, we're gonna get a really bad exit. We wash out wide onto the curb. That portion of the track, the camber, is kind of weird, so whenever you go wide there, it's very awkward to get back on throttle. Considering that Robin Collar was a fair bit in front of us earlier on in the race and in qualifying, we're just gonna let him through. We're not gonna fight that position. My thought process here was maybe Robin Collar can catch up to Vincent Winder. Maybe they'll both get slowed down, and maybe by the end of the race we can pick up 1 or 2 positions. I believe this is lap 4 now, rounding Stavalo corner. Robin Collar right behind Vincent Winter. Robin Collar has his sights set on Vincent Winter in the Porsche. Collar getting a huge slipstream nearing Blanchimont now. He's flashing his lights as he gets pushed onto the grass. Now we're into Blanchimont. Look at that camera angle, look at the speed of those cars. Robin Collar flashing his headlights once again. Can he try to go around the outside of Vincent Winter? Unfortunately, he can't manage that. He has to slot in behind Winter once again and go single file through the bus stop chicane as he gets a massive snap of oversteer. That's not gonna help his exit, and maybe we can get a run too, but he's just a little bit too far ahead. Going through Eau Rouge now, he's still flashing his lights. He's getting very impatient and very eager to get past Vincent Winter. Look at the run he has now. Up the hill onto the Camel straight. He's side by side with Vincent Winter very early on the Camel. He's pulling alongside. He's on the outside, but if he's ahead, he can make this move work. Unfortunately, he breaks a little bit too early, and Vincent Winter with the counter attack still manages to keep his place in front of Robin Collar. On both those occasions, Collar didn't have the commitment to make those moves stick. Now through Blanchimont again, they're gonna battle. Collar sticks his nose up the inside. That is not a good idea. He's gonna compromise his exit and also Vincent Winter's exit. So can we capitalize on Robin Collar and overtake him the way he couldn't do on Vincent Winter earlier? Around the outside at the bus stop chicane, he gets a little bit of oversteer on the radar there, and we actually get the move stick as he gets another snap of oversteer on the exit of the bus stop. But now you can see that is the red and white BMW of Zalewski. He is back in this race. It takes us until lap 6 to maybe have a chance to overtake Vincent Winter. As exiting Stavalo, he goes a little bit wide. We get a really good exit now onto this next corner. Let's hope we can get another good exit. Unfortunately though, we got in the throttle a little bit too early. We don't lift enough and we're into the gravel. That is going to be a track limits warning, 0.5 points. And now behind in the mirrors, Zalewski can, maybe he can make the move stick on us on the bus stop chicane just like we did on Robin Collar, and he is gonna make that move stick. We brake a little bit early to let him through once again, just like we did with Robin Collar earlier on in the race through Piff Path. Now once again, the game plan is for Zalewski to slow down Vincent Winter. Sitting in the slipstream of Zalewski, Zalewski pulls to the outside as Vincent Winter goes defensive into turn 1. Zalewski can get the switchback done though. He gets a better exit than the Porsche driver, who were ready to pounce in case anything happens between these two into Eau Rouge. Will they go side by side into Eau Rouge? Luckily for them, Vincent Winter lifts off, and we also have to lift off in the process, but unfortunately we missed time our throttle application. So look behind in the mirrors, Robin Collar is right on our tails, and behind Robin Collar is the Porsche with the Rexy livery who performed the controlled oversteer moment at the exit of turn 1 earlier on in the race. Now going to Lecom, we're now the ones who were 3 wide. Remember what happened earlier when drivers were 3 wide? Now we're the ones involved in that moment, and somehow we all managed to make it through without any contact. And once again, and also somehow, we managed to get out of that fight, in the lead of that fight, in the lead of our little trio. For the Rexy livery Porsche, he gets ahead of Robin Collar, but you'll be able to see on the leaderboard, he did make a little bit of a mistake earlier on, as now is the last lap of the race. This is going to be our last chance to overtake Vincent Winter. Let's try to get a really good exit out of La Source. We do get a good exit. Vincent Winter though also doesn't get a bad exit. Look at the slipstream we have on Vincent Winter. We're gonna lift the throttle though, and hopefully we're not gonna mistime our application through Evolution up through Radeon now. We have kept a good distance to Vincent Winter, and now we're gonna get the slipstream. We're gaining. He defends the inside, so we're gonna go around the outside of Vincent Winter, cutting back on board with us. Can we be brave enough to go around the outside? And yes, we can. We leave him just enough room, and now we go a little bit wide through the next corner. We get the throttle a little bit too early for this one, so now we're gonna have to defend our position into Brussels. Luckily, we're on the inside, and the inside is very crucial here. We're entering very narrow, so we have to go a little bit slow. But the important thing is that is P10 secured for us in the blue Mustang. Behind Robin Collar will now try to copy our bravery and commitment. Look at the run he has on Vincent Winter. Can he make the move on the inside of Puon? Unfortunately, he mistimes it, he misjudges it, and they both get sent spinning on the exit of Puon. And let's look at a replay of our move around the outside of Vincent Winter. That is one of the best moves I've ever pulled off in sim racing in my month history in LMU. Going to Brussels, we had to defend, as Vincent Winter definitely would have sent it down our inside if we didn't. Yeah, very nice overtake, very nice attack, and very nice defense from us on board with Robin Collar. You can see that move from his perspective. It's just beautiful in all the angles. I'm sorry for glazing myself. We're gonna round the final chicane, the bus stop chicane, for the very last time. Nico Hochi, familiar face from the channel, wins this one 25 seconds in front, as we got caught in a lot of traffic in this race. But we finished P10, top 10 position from P18. It's not bad at all. In 20 minutes, I'll take that in split 1. We're gonna look behind, the Robin Collar and Vincent Winter actually still rejoined together on track even after their spins, so they're gonna battle it all the way to the line. Can Robin Collar get another run on Vincent Winter up through Blanchimont? He's on the outside through Blanchimont, however, so Vincent Winter will have the upper hand. They make contact on the entry of Blanchimont. Robin Collar will have to concede that position. It's not very easy to go around the outside of Blanchimont. It may not even be possible to go around the outside of Blanchimont and make a move stick, to make a clean move stick through there. But through the bus stop chicane, for the final time for them as well, Vincent Winter manages to hold on and not let Robin Collar pass. But that's 8 places gained for us, P10.